from a neighborhood where that's prominent. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I seen growing up. And just because I seen it doesn't mean that it kind of formed me. It go back like what you were saying, how you wired. Because I know people who say the exact same things I seen, went through the same things and lived the same way. They still got the mindset that I got. So it's like I say half. It's like half like what you been through, what you seen, and then the other half is like just how you are. Because me and my sisters, we lived in the same house. Both of them graduated high school that day. You know what I'm saying? So it can't really be like when you had the right upbringing, like my household, right? My sisters still graduated. You know what I'm saying? It's just like kind of like life I chose. You know what I'm saying? To not graduate. And we stayed in the same house, in the same neighborhood, at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We about like a year or two
What's up,
apart.
Chad? How we
So
feeling?
that I can't blame it on like mama. You know what I'm saying? She did her part for sure. Because I see it in my sister.
Do you think it was something that happened in your prison, to
Hold
now,
on, Chad.
like you were you like, man, something changed, or did you get out and it's like, yeah, right, I'm shit.
Only the time I really had to like take the form of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't like I was a regular young nigga in prison either. Like, I ain't go to prison on some young,
Damn.
just bad. How the folks hired me, man, out. When I went to prison, doing what I wanted to do, driving cars I wanted to drive, chicks in love. You know what I'm saying? Six figures. Like, so it was a whole different world. 18.
So you young. I mean, them men live. I'm not saying live back like now, but a different variant. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I tell people like this. I can go to the gas station by myself. I can go to the mall by myself. I can get on the red light by myself. Because it's like in my head, the stuff that I have to be doing, I wasn't after. And then I already feel like I already was thinking in my head, like, as I get older, I'm gonna get rich. You know what I'm saying?
Right. To you, how big you are. I'm like, you showing me as if like you are just like
Because believe it or not, once you put it in my head that I'm that,
yeah.
like then I'm gonna believe me, like this big rap place. I just go with it. Like, I don't really know.
All right, we live. Let's get it.
Tattoo.
Some people in here.
Tattoo of them things ain't never moved.
Right. Which you have, which isn't easy. It's not easy to do, bro, because this life can really trick you and make you think. But just
All right,
all
Chad.
right,
I
Chad,
got
I got
work to
work to
do.
do.
So we gonna work. I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna vibe with y'all while I do it.
Rapping, radio shit.
Let's see. Can I do anything with the screen? No, not right now.
Streets when they first money, they act kick in, lose their
There was
love.
some topics I wanted to talk about, so I'll do that.
I have to do
I'm
something.
watching Lil Baby, Lil Yachty interview right now. I'm cold. It's so hot outside. You gotta have the AC up. Basically, all of the things that I didn't have a chance to go over Sunday night, we'll go over. And I have a lot of work to do where I won't be able to share my screen because of the sensitivity of it, period. So you'll have to stare at my mug, but let's vibe and spread the good word that ClaudeWar is king. Yeah, let's go. Movie not live, man. No, we're in pump fine. So, oh man, I'll get straight to it. Last week. What happened last week? I got a haircut last week. That's what happened. Um, step into my office chat. I'm just playing. That's kind of extra. No, so last week, what all happened? Damn, it's cold. I had so we had the Iran. So ClaudeWar had hits from Iran in the admin traffic. And yeah, that was, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it's just all right. Say you're building what I'm building, and you look in your admin panel, and you're an American. Or imagine being American or Israeli. Yeah, imagine being American or like Israeli, and you're building what I'm building, and then you look and check your traffic, and boom, you see Iran state media channeling traffic to your global intelligence and finance platform. So, I'm not gonna lie, it was, I mean, I'm pretty chill, especially in my old age. So I just kind of, I reached out to my contacts that I've met along this journey. Is kind of like, hey, this happened. Have you ever seen that happen before? I really didn't know how to take it. But the way I decided to take it was, well, first of all, so a little bit more context. The Iran state media that was accessing ClaudeWar.info. It was so it is state-run media, but for whatever reason, Germany lets Iran have their own state-run media outlet in Germany. I don't know. That sounds snafu to me. If you don't know what snafu means, look it up. SNAFU. But it was really interesting when it was two IPs coming out. Let me see. It might still be up. I only keep that type of data for 48 hours, I believe. I have to get this building work done. So if I can't stream, if I can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, then I think I can manage it. So we're gonna do it. All right, I can share that part. So I'll show you what I saw. Oh, hold on, chat. Check. My mic is on. There we go. You guys can hear me? We good, loud and clear? Let's move this flag over here. We'll move the chat over there. So this is what I saw. This is all I saw. de.irna.ir. And so from my admin panel, Did that right? Oh, that might be the wrong one. I just added this, so I'm still kind of learning it. Hmm. Not sure why that's not popping up. Do 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 do. That doesn't make any sense. Let me see. I can pull it up on my X because I screenshotted it. That's only supposed to log data for 48 hours, so that's probably why. What the heck? That's really weird from Telegram. I'm not gonna lie, that's hella weird. All right, let's go to. Let me find it. Yeah, there it is. So this isn't a joke. Uh, yeah, so that's what
I'm
it
not
is. But I
entirely.
think it's because this should only
So,
log it for 48 hours.
so
Let me see if I can troubleshoot it that way. All right, no, I'm not gonna worry about it, and I'll troubleshoot that later because that's not really that critical. But yeah, so what you know, as an American running this an open source intelligence platform and all that good stuff, right? Seeing Iran state news media from a see right there, that's United States. United States. I mean, my mind kind of went. I mean, I'm gonna lie, my mind went sleeper cell mode. Like, what is this? I looked into it more and I realized it's not like it's not traffic out of Iran. It does, like I originally said, why does Germany allow them as an allied nation? This isn't my bias. This is geopolitics. Why does Germany allow them to operate their state-run media in Germany? I mean, it's like if the United States let North Korea or Iran operate their state-run media, do they? I don't know. I gotta look that up. But so that was one thing I wanted to talk about Sunday. I didn't get a chance to. I think it was Sunday, yeah. And no, I mean this direction this company I decided to do. Like I know who the target demographic is. I'm fully aware that there's a global conflict going on. Um, so what are you gonna do, right? So it makes me feel better. It's not like a threat, right? So it's not a threat. And let's be realistic. Even if it was like out of Iran, I mean, what the fuck? What are they gonna do to me? Like, what am I doing wrong, right? Um, in this process, I've learned enough to know that I really don't know a lot. And so I've learned a lot, but so the narrative that fits me that I've come to the conclusion is, I reached out to some contacts that I've made with some, pretty big companies that they represent, work for, deal with. They're aware of it. It's not out of Iran, it's out of Germany. The IPs come out of Ireland, United States. And so it's confirmation, like those, it's confirmation that ClaudeWar has value. As if I need any more, but of course, like sometimes things get slow, growth, it's like it'll be a whole week of every day, it's just doubling, 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 and then a Sunday will hit, or it'll be a slow week. We're what 9, 10 weeks into this, 10 or 11 weeks, something like that. And when I feel like maybe there's no growth happening or slow growth or whatever, this is this. I don't need Iran state media to tell me that this is valuable stuff. That but it's just added confirmation, really. But yeah, no, the first off reaction when I saw that was, I guess I wouldn't call it fear, a little paranoia. Um, like just for brief flashes, it was proactiveness. It would, but it didn't take me long to come around to just taking it for what it was. Um, you know, um, I guess it'd probably be best to just keep it professional in that regard. What else I want to talk about that happened? Oh, Microsoft. So Microsoft has been calling and calling. I'm gonna switch up so I can get some work done because it's some sensitive things I have to do, like webhooks and API keys that I don't want to expose. But Microsoft has been calling me and calling me and calling me. I
I
thought it
thought
was
it was
spam.
spam.
I thought it
Thought
was
it was
scam.
scam.
It's like
It's like
Google.
Google.
People do
People
that
do
with
that with
Google,
Google,
and
and
like
like
that's what
that's
I
what I
need
need
to
to
do.
do.
I
I
need
need
to
to
get
get
back
back
to
to
them
them
from
from
yesterday.
yesterday.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
so
so
scammers
scammers
will
will
use
use
Google,
Google,
like, and
like, and
it'll
it'll
literally
literally
say
say
Google on
Google
the
on the
ID,
ID,
even though
even
you
though you
don't
don't
save
save
it.
it.
And so
And so
Microsoft has
Microsoft
been
has been
calling
calling
me
me
like
like
every
every
day,
day,
last
last
week and
week
a
and
week
a week
before
before
last, and
last,
I'm
and I'm
like,
like,
damn,
damn,
that's
that's
some
some
consistent
consistent
scammers.
scammers.
And
And
I
I
got
got
emails
emails
from
from
them, as
them,
I
as I
said.
said.
I mean,
I
they
mean,
had
they
been
had been
emailing me
emailing me
every
every
other
other
week. It
week. It
was
was
just
just
the
the
wrong
wrong
email they
email
were
they were
sending it
sending it
to
to
because I
because I
never got
never
to
got to
finish the
finish the
founder's
founder's
application,
application,
which,
which
because of a
because of a
technical
technical
hang
hang
up, if
up.
you
If
play
you
that
play that
video
video
from
from
yesterday,
yesterday,
you can
you can
find it.
find it.
Um, they
They
were
were
contacting my
contacting my
personal
personal
email
email
because
because I didn't
a
a
technical
technical
problem on
problem on
their
their
end
end
with
with
basically
basically
just
just
verifying
verifying
my
my
identity,
identity,
bank
bank
account,
account,
things like
things like
that
that
that's
that's
required
required
for to
to
enter the
enter the
program.
program.
There was
There
a
was a
glitch
glitch
that
that
didn't
didn't
allow me
allow
to
me to
finish the
finish the
application.
application.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
And
And
yeah,
yeah,
of
of
course,
course,
I
I
could
could
have
have
really, I could
I
have
could have
used
used
all of
all of
that
that
then,
then,
even more
even
than
more than
now,
now.
but I
But I
still need
still
to
need to
scale.
scale.
So
So
I'm
I'm
glad that
glad that
for
for
whatever
whatever
reason, I
reason, I
just
just
happened to
happened to
check
check
my
my
personal
personal
email
email
and
and
saw
saw
all the
all the
emails that
emails that
Microsoft
Microsoft
reached
reached
out to
out
me,
to
and
me,
then
and
they
then they
talked
talked
about, we've
about
been
we've been
trying to
trying to
call
call
you.
you.
We
We
want to
want
help
to
you
help you
get
get
through
through
this.
this.
So
So
many
many
emails
emails
from
from
them
them
looking at
looking at
now.
now.
I just
I just
never
never
checked that
checked that
email. I
email.
don't
I don't
expect
expect
things
things
like
like
that to
that
come
to
to
come
my
to my
personal
personal
email.
email.
And when
And
I'm
when I'm
looking at
looking
my
at my
personal
personal
emails,
emails,
I'm looking
looking
for
for
something
something
specific.
specific.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
so
so
I'm
I'm
glad
glad
that
that
for
for
whatever
whatever
reason,
reason,
it was
it was
like the
like the
final
final
one
one
from
from
the
the
manager,
manager,
like
a
a higher
higher
up.
up.
So
So
every
every
three
three
emails,
emails,
it
it
would
would
get
get
escalated
escalated
to
to
somebody,
somebody,
and it
and it
really
really
ramped up
ramped up
right
right
when ClaudeWar's
ClaudeWar's
user
user
base
base
started
started
to,
to
multiply
multiply
rapidly. It's
rapidly,
still
still
multiplying
multiplying
rapidly.
rapidly.
And
And
the
the
final
final
email that
email
I
that I
saw
saw
had
had
been
been
sent to
sent
me
to me
12
12
hours
hours
prior, and
prior,
it
and it
basically
basically
said,
said,
it
it
said,
said,
this
this
is,
is,
we've been
we've been
trying to
trying to
reach you
reach you
for a
for a
couple
couple
of
of
months
months
now.
now.
If we
If
don't
we
hear
don't hear
anything
anything
from you in
from you in
48
48
hours,
hours,
then
then
basically we're gonna stop reaching out. So I'm glad that I saw it. I reached out to her, let her know. Yes, absolutely, I'm interested. They called me yesterday. I spoke with them, and now they're working with me to resolve that issue. I mean, I don't know what will come of it. They seem pretty adamant about um, wanting to fix this issue so I can submit for the founders program with Microsoft. That's all I can really say. I can speculate like you. I would assume they didn't do all that, outreach, constantly trying to get in touch with me for no reason. And so that would help me, help ClaudeWar, and me specifically with, we're logging so much data from the 66 data layers that it fills up the database quick, very quick. And so like Microsoft Founders Program covers a lot. It can get expensive. It can get really expensive. Not quickly at the level we're at. But there's a lot of other things, benefits that come with it. Like I said, I'm excited about it. And I'm gonna work with the guys to get into it, right? It's just that I've had to be so resourceful. Again, don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me by any means. I'm literally working with the guy right now. Just you can't see. I'm not sharing the screen. To finish the application, get it submitted, and yeah, if I qualify, I'm gonna take it because it's a lot of financial assistance, it's a lot of notoriety, or not notoriety, excuse me, it's live exposure. It comes with that. It's a lot of help, right? So I'm not arrogant by any means. I'm not saying I don't need them now. So don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying that if there was no founders programs, I just feel more confident than I did when I originally was reaching out to Google, when I was originally reaching out to Microsoft. Everything's such a long process that I don't have like venture capitalist funding. I'm not waiting on anybody. Because waiting on anybody is like that's money. Time is money. I don't have the luxury to like just put my build on hold. That's why being down for a week really got to me mentally. Because I've worked so hard, and so my worst fear is like, oh no, we've been down a week. Like what if all those people don't come back? But it didn't work out like that. So that was another thing I wanted to address, that downtime. So going through all the like it's just this is a really complex build. And so it's come with some roadblocks that I've overcome and learned so much more than when I started. And overcoming those obstacles is just like keep building. Sometimes I've learned I have to, if it's really complex problem or situation, like break it down into okay, well I don't know about that step, but I know like step one, say it's 100 steps. All right. Well, if I don't know 99 of them, but I know step one. Okay, well then do step one. Worry about step two when I get there. And that's very much like against my personality in general. But it's just things I've had to learn. So yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited. It feels good to be like. I'm really tired. My 4-year-old son, like we partied last night. I got to spend a lot of time with him, one-on-one, which doesn't happen a lot. And I'm a little tired now, but no, it was fun. We had a good time. Display name ClaudeWar. I'm finishing it. The guy with Microsoft gave me a workaround, so I'm doing that now. That was yesterday. They're very nice. Don't lose your data out of your account. Yeah, so no, I'm at a spot where like this is something that's gonna be my legacy. And even though I said that a month ago, 2 months ago, going on 3 months ago now, right? 78, 76 days. I said it then, but there was a lot of things that were unknown. You know, I had a defense contractor reach out to me. You have successfully created your profile. Consider the following. Great. But yeah, there was a lot of unknowns. I think I made a post yesterday where I was kind of explaining that in the first few weeks, the first 2 or 3 weeks, there were like barely 100 users. And I was ecstatic because I've built a lot of things and never been able to get any users, right? That's just how it goes. And I've touched on that in the I reckon the Substack will drop this week. It's nothing that, it's definitely for the community. It's for the people to see the vision and, yeah, I love the app. I like the way the tokens tied into it. I like the way it just keep the layers keep getting more and more sound, more tied together in ways that make more and more sense. It's for those, it's for you guys. Just like that article I made on X, right? But I definitely feel like with all the obstacles that have come up from technical side to we had a VC and Telegram earlier. Even I built this with Replit, which was a no-code, all-in-one thing. It's basically like being a software. It's like I guess a software engineer with training wheels. It allowed me to learn a lot in the first month and a half, 2 months that I built with them. But and that's just what it is. I can't change it. They wouldn't recommend them. Wouldn't recommend them. Don't have much nice to say about them, so I'll just get past that. But I will say that that process, it's damn near a legal case, so I just skip over that. But so where ClaudeWar is now is it's on a firm professional infrastructure. I've learned what that even means, what that looks like. Nobody should ever be able to touch my code base. Nobody should ever be able to touch the ClaudeWar code base. And so there's some luck and play there. Not being a computer science, having any real knowledge of computer sciences or software engineer. And then I ended up building something so valuable that was so exposed while it was on Replit. However, so now I have a legal team as of yesterday. So it's not just like me fighting. Not if a couple companies that have violated me on a few different levels. I don't have to take the time to do public documentation anymore. Like that's nice. So excuse me. Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff going on for sure. I think I did everything I needed to do for this much. Damn. I gotta stop vaping. I went to the doctor today and they gave just like my physical, yearly physical. Excuse me. Hold on, I gotta get some drink. Anyway, they gave me nicotine gum. I haven't went to the pharmacy to pick it up yet. So I'm excited about stopping vaping for sure. All right, where were we with Microsoft? I think I filled out two or three forms that I need to do. Yep, I got one more. Sign into the Microsoft Startup portal. Yeah, this is where it's not recognizing my LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm gonna send this to him. Great. And then they need to give me a referral code. What y'all got going on, chat? Getting echoes on X. That should be better now, yeah? No more echoes? No more echoes? Should be pretty clear. But yeah, so Iran, I talked about that. Turned out, yes, it is Iran state media, but it's not the Iran that my mind immediately went to. Talked about Microsoft, Google. I mean, it's both of them. So I think from my like conservative perspective, where the conversations are, like I said, it's I don't need, we don't like ClaudeWar LLC, ClaudeWar.info. I'm accepting of all the help that I can get from community side to founders program side to grants that I'm in the process of, uh, and grants that I'm learning about. That having an LLC, excuse me, and having so many, reaching a certain point in users that I'm wasn't able to, uh, qualify for even a month ago. So yeah, I'm 100% open to them. Um, but like I said, it's just so much that I've learned in the last 71 days. So I mean, I honestly, I have it mapped out for the next year, like a feasible plan. And that's where, if you've been with me from the beginning, I'm all about like, I don't think I've said it so much recently, but before there were private defense and military companies evaluating ClaudeWar, like when there were just like four layers, I said I have a feasible plan for growth, and I've been applying it. And then as new heights get reached, as network in the process of growing the user base. I mean, it's been people reaching out to me. But also I've put in the legwork. Like I've reached, I had to reach out. I had to fill out, or it wasn't even an application. It was like a request, and I used the help of AI. Like, all right, I have all of these emails of the Defense Innovation Unit, Palantir. There's so many that I can't think of. I've never heard of them before. I found out about them a month ago. But like I put in the legwork to see. All right, what is in place for me to get into this industry, and this industry in specific to what I'm talking about now was military and defense. And so I reached out to all of these programs, heard back from one, haven't got denied from any of them, just haven't heard back. The one that did approve me was the Defense Innovation Unit, which is an arm of the Department of War. Okay, great. Accepted into their network. Um, there's a lot of certifications. If you look, I updated the deck screener and also the docs. So docs.claudewar.info will explain it, but there's certifications that I want to get to operate at a higher level. I need to get to operate at a bigger capacity in the defense and military network. It's all just a process, right? Um, and so now I think the next logical step is okay. Now I've made myself known and have gained acceptance in defense and military. All right, why don't I look into maybe an area that that has less bureaucracy and red tape, right? An example of that is trucking. So I've met a few truckers. It's still in play, you know. Everything is just a process when it's at a company level. I'm a software as a service I'm a founder of a company that's software as a service. It targets corporations. An example, as I was saying, is fleet trucking companies, emergency management. All right, so I've made tools because I'm in the process of, again, same thing. A guy reached out to me who has a lot of experience, who's retired military, has a lot of experience in civilian emergency management. He said, you know, they're really lacking in regards to same thing I heard from military and defense, like actionable, very sub-second, modern, like, you know, right now there's so many machines across so many industries that have readings and dials, and so it's almost like they have to do a recruitment process. If we're talking about the military, boot camp and performance, all right, that takes time. And then as you know, those people that are going through that process of boot camp and their talents and their abilities shine, then they get classified off into different areas, right? And then it's kind of like a gauge at the higher ups. I've never been in the military, so I'm not pretending I know, you know. To make a long story short, there's certain planes, there's certain systems that, like, people have to go to 4 years of experience in the field, and then like they'll have to go to 4 years in school just to read these dials. So, and I mean, it's really like that, and it's in some cases, all right, that's 8 years. That's 8 years that a corporation has to invest into, you know, whether it's one person or a group of people, just to understand the machinery they're working with. And so ClaudeWar solves a lot of that with the way it functions, giving actionable intelligence, reading a lot of those things, like, and putting it into a way where, like, if you can just understand language, whatever language it is, at the end of the day, it could be, you know, ClaudeWar AI agent can put it in English, you can put it in French, you can put it in German, right? And so as that gets perfected and refined, then that means that, you know, companies won't have to, they'll be able to skip 4 years of schooling. They won't have to put, let's speak with military and defense. A pilot, you know, becomes a pilot, and then there's specialty pilots, and then they go to pilot school for however X years, and then they get X hours of training, and then they have to go to like a whole nother subset of specialty training just to read some of the dials and things, you know. And that's a lot of time. It's when it doesn't have to be like that, right? Pilots just can. you know, learn how to fly the plane, and any dials can be spoken to them or put across a screen in a language they understand instead of numbers dials, right? And so ultimately, that's a gap that I'm looking to fill with ClaudeWar, and I don't know why. Maybe because like this did start off as a war tracker, and so that's where my mind was at. And like I don't believe in any limits. So like I just went like, all right, let's reach out to the United States government and see if they find any interest in the path that I'm going, and they did. They have, you know. But let's, there's so many other industries. So going back into like, I'm not waiting on anyone. I know, like, with my resourcefulness, with my faith, with my ability to grow, to do things that bring the growth that has, like, we have everything we need. It's just a matter of being consistent. To be consistent, I have to be patient. To be consistent, I have to show up every day. Okay, no problem. And I think just one sec. Hello? Hi there. Bye. All right, cool. Um, so where am I right now with Microsoft? I have done everything they asked me for, and I'm getting back to them via email. And then we go from there. But yeah, so no, everything is good. It's great. Honestly, it is great. Um, it's good to see the community get more active. It's good to see the numbers. Just, I mean, it kind of surprises me a little bit, but I think there's a lot of word of mouth happening. There's a lot of, like I can talk to you for probably 5 minutes on a phone, and I can kind of get a gauge for the type of person you are. And depending on the topic we're talking about, right? Just your real intent on whatever topic we're talking about, just from being an attentive person. And so I think there's a lot of people in the community that are that same type of attentive. They see my actions, they see the numbers, they see results. They understand. I think there's a lot more people than I had expected, especially as of the last few weeks that have found the app, they've used it. It shows in the average session duration. Um, there's a lot of people coming in, by the thousands a day, and the average session duration is going up, right? So I'm very optimistic on ClaudeWar as a whole. I think everything that I want from this company, from this project, from this utility token, from this technology, it's going to come. Um, and from what I've seen, it's insane the enterprise traction. So enterprise traction are like top company in trillion-dollar industries, right? That have reached out to me, and that's why I lean into faith because yeah, I know I'm a hard worker. Um, I don't think there's anybody on earth that can outwork me. Um, I know I'm resourceful. I know I'm capable. But there's just been so many things that have come together that's like, there's some things I still don't believe are real, and it is real, like totally to the verification, like the same way that some of these entities are evaluating me and vetting me, like I'm vetting them because it doesn't seem real. Like what? This idea I had because it was a headline, and then I'm like, wait, because this just started as a meme coin without a website. It was a narrative, and then it was just a feeling I had. I'm like, I did 3 days prior. I was looking at war updates for the Iran, Israel, USA, and I couldn't get everything in on one website. I had to go literally 5, 10, 15 different websites, and each website would have like vessel traffic, and then one would have like military, and then or military movements, and another one would have like social media feeds, and another one would have commercial airliners, and then another like it was just I'm like, I think that planted the seed, and then 3 days later was when Trump and Anthropic got into it. And so originally it did. It just started as a meme coin, and it was within 12 hours of that launch. I'm like, all right, Dex market fucking sucks at that time. It's a lot better now, but I like that. I like that fact. So I'm like, all right, so Josh, what are you gonna do? You could like launch a shit ton of meme coins and sit there and camp out headlines. Meme coins are legal, but it's just not. It doesn't mesh with what I want to do. Or you could take this really cool narrative at a time where like all of the technology and all of the app building and coding is like literally at your fingertips. I've already proven to myself that like I have the ability to like really, really lock in and work. I mean, I don't think many people know what it's like to work a 4 or 5 hour day. I mean, I'm sorry, a 4 or 5 days straight with no sleep, with no drugs, no caffeine. I don't even drink caffeine. Um, no uppers, right? Just off of motivation and being so money motivated and knowing, like so that's just my personality type. It's like, all right, so let's do it. And that's what I was telling myself on like hour 12. You saw like 10 or 15 apps that you've never seen before looking for war updates. If you thought it was annoying and you didn't understand any of it and you're not like, you're not really dumb, how many other people like want real-time updates on global happenings and like are tired of going around to a million different sites or going to sites that have multiple things? You just have no idea what any of it means or like how it's important, but you don't know how or why. And so I hit a lot of gaps, a lot of different gaps. And hey, baby, yeah, we're about to go pick up mommy and Dodo. Okay. You gonna ride with me? No. I was just going. Hey, chat. I was going to say. They're ready. I was going to say. Well, hold on. Wait till I get done with this stream, okay? Wait. Gun. No, you can't have the toy gun. Not till we go outside. Okay. We'll go outside in a minute, okay? Okay. I'll wait. I never know what he's gonna say, so I'm like, nope. Wait till the stream's over, man. They get to 4. It's like air out all my dirty laundry. No, so no, we're on a good track. Um, excuse the most. I told you it was a boring stream. It's in the title. Y'all didn't believe me. But no, just excuse that. I'll rest tonight. Be good. I still got a lot of things I want to get done before I do rest. But I'm gonna go to sleep at a decent time tonight so I can wake up hella early. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and worked through like 10 to my doctor's appointment. Got a lot done. I want to finish up what I didn't get done tonight. That will look like a complete overall for the prediction markets. And that's why I'm excited about the community because, like, I can handle marketing, I can handle community building, I can handle the formation of all of that, especially setting the spark for that. So it's nice as I see it transition to like there's people taking initiative within the community, whether it's the utility token holders or the app users, to amplify that spark or to start their own spark, right? Because that's all of it has to be looked at as just as important, right? All of it's just as important as anything else. So nothing can be neglected. And so having help from, like it's like it turns in one person to two to five to 10. The next thing you know, you have an army. And it starts with, it always starts with one person really willing to carry the torch more than anybody else. And so, like, I've always been willing to be that person. And so this is a lot, like, especially somebody who's never even heard of any of it. It's a lot. And I understand that. And that's why, like, patient, you have to you can't know how valuable ClaudeWar is without understanding you have to have patience for others to understand how valuable ClaudeWar is. So that's why it's just like a matter of time. I mean, it always is, there's going to be ups and downs, but as long as there's no quits or outs, it's all inevitable. And I'm going to take that as I got to go get my wife and daughter home. So, um, expect a total revamp from what you see on markets. That signal percentage, when it's not accurate, I think it says like 4%. No, we're at like, oh, we're well into over 90%. I'm just adjusting some things to bring in Calci markets so that markets.claudewar.info can be tradable. Sorry about that light. So how can you help me if you want to support? Go to claudewar.info, open a free account, and then go to ClaudeWar and then play around with the map, right? Know that everything on there can help your life in one way or another. You want to support? Open that free account, then go to claudewar.info/access, upgrade the AI operative. You want to keep it, that's $9. You want to support more? Go learn about the ClaudeWar utility token, buy some of it, and use it in the ecosystem. It's that simple. Um, get active in the community, ask questions about what you don't understand. You don't even have to ask me questions. You can go come in the community and talk to the AI agent. It knows everything it knows everything I know and more, honestly. Um, and so yeah, the future's bright. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. And job's not finished. On that note, I'm gonna get off here, go pick up my wife and kids so I can stay married. Hope y'all have a great night, evening, day, morning, wherever you're at. Keep love in your heart. Keep your eyes to the sky. ClaudeWar's got you covered and all them.